Join me, let's explore how to place our trust in God and let go of fear, even when it feels impossible. Hey there, welcome back to the channel, where we share daily Bible inspiration, prayer, motivation, and words of encouragement. In today's world, it's easy to feel overwhelmed and consumed by fear. From the news headlines to our personal struggles, it can be hard to know what to do with our anxieties and worries. But as Christians, we're called to trust God, even when it feels impossible. And that's exactly what I want to talk about today. I think we've all been there. We're trying to let go of fear and trust in God, but it feels like an uphill battle. We're anxious, we're uncertain, and we're not sure how to move forward. We try to pray, but the thoughts and worries just keep swirling around in our minds. We feel like we're stuck, and we don't know how to get unstuck. For me, one of the biggest struggles is the fear of the unknown. When I'm faced with a situation that's outside of my control, my mind starts racing with all the what ifs and maybes. I start to worry about the worst case scenario, and before I know it, I'm paralyzed with fear, and I'm sure I'm not alone in this. Many of us struggle with fear and anxiety, and it can be debilitating. But here's the thing, God knows our fears, and He wants to help us overcome them. He wants us to trust Him, even when it doesn't make sense. He wants us to have faith, even when we can't see what's ahead. And that's where the struggle really lies, in letting go of our need for control and surrendering our fears to God. I remember a time when I was going through a really tough season in my life. I was feeling lost and alone, and I didn't know how I was going to make it through. But as I prayed and sought God, I started to feel a sense of peace that I had never felt before. It was like a weight had been lifted off my shoulders, and I knew that God was in control. It wasn't easy, and it didn't happen overnight, but I learned to surrender my fears to God, and it changed everything. I think that's one of the biggest misconceptions about trusting God. We think it's going to be easy, or that it's going to happen instantly. But the truth is, it's a journey. It takes time, effort, and patience. We have to be willing to let go of our fears one step at a time and trust that God is working everything out for our good. For me, one of the most powerful moments was when I realized that fear and faith are not mutually exclusive. We don't have to choose between being afraid and trusting God. We can do both. We can acknowledge our fears and still choose to trust God, and that's where the transformation happens. When we're willing to surrender our fears to God, He can take those fears and turn them into peace. As the Apostle Paul wrote in Romans 8:28, which says, "And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him, who have been called according to His purpose." That's the promise we can hold on to, even when we're afraid. God is working everything out for our good, and He wants us to trust Him. So, as we wrap up today, I want to leave you with this thought. Letting go of fear is a journey, and it takes faith and patience, but it's worth it. When we're willing to surrender our fears to God, He can take those fears and turn them into peace. He can take our anxiety and turn it into calm, and He can take our uncertainty and turn it into trust. Thanks for watching, and I'd love to hear from you. What's one area in your life where you're struggling to trust God? Leave a comment below and let's continue the conversation. And if you want to watch more videos on topics like fear, faith, and trust, be sure to check out our channel and subscribe for more content. God bless you.